that video would be right on the center of the page, right when you click on Pete's.com. It's right there. It's simply a way to hook the viewer that shows why Pete's Coffee is unique to any other brand. A company such as Phil's Coffee out of San Francisco has done this remarkably well. This right here is, once you go on the Phil's Coffee page, if you guys can see this, you can see this is what happened. This is a 20-second video. I didn't know anything about Phil's Coffee, but after seeing this, it kind of puts everything into perspective about their company.
So our goal is to share this interactive video on all forms of social media, while still encouraging users to share with the hashtag #TellPetesStory. We feel that by introducing this hashtag, it will resonate with millennials and get more hits across all social media platforms.
We also believe that Pete's Coffee should be in colleges and universities all across the country. More specifically, we'd like to target the Ivy League and SCAC schools. We believe that these people are passionate about great coffee and are willing to buy a high quality cup of coffee. Also, as Nikki pointed out, with the new coffee design, people all over the college campus will have that cup of coffee. They'll be at a sporting event with that cup of coffee. They'll be in the dining hall. They'll be in the library. It'll create a certain buzz about Pete's Coffee, and the message will be portrayed all throughout the community.
Another idea that our group had would be to insert Pete's employees in the grocery stores across the country. We feel that if consumers have the opportunity to speak to Pete's employees, it will further spread the verification story. To stay within the budget, we said we would focus on higher end grocery stores such as Whole Foods in areas that Pete's is trying to expand to.
And then finally, we thought we could measure our results by looking at just the general increase in revenue. Are people buying Pete's more? And then looking at our social media, and are people using the hashtag we came up with? And then looking at website traffic. Are more people interested in this video and visiting the site to hear about the story? And then finally, seeing how brand awareness has grown through that. And then finally, we think looking at the general increase in sales, we would then see a general increase in improving the quality of life for farmers.
Tell me about the cup.
Okay, so my idea behind it, or our idea behind it, was starting with a picture that goes around the top. So quick, easy, you just see it, there's no thought to it, you can always see the picture, it tells a story, and then having words beneath it. So you also have the chance to, if you're sitting down, you have a moment to think, you're at a stoplight, sadly enough, you look at your cup and you get the chance to really read the story. Having this opportunity kind of then gets the familiarity in with the story and also gets people directly aware and gets people around you aware. So you see someone's cup, you're like, what is that picture? Like, where is that coming from? It kind of sparks people's interest and wants to know, like, is this a new brand or is this something different? Kind of knowing more about it. And then we also kind of had at the bottom, it says like, this coffee came from Guatemala or something, seeing like a direct connection to it. I think people get really inspired when they can see their direct impact.
And talking to people like out in the field, we found that people actually read large amounts of text on coffee cups because they found themselves bored or in the shop alone and looking for something new. So instead of looking at your phone and look at the coffee cup, and it's kind of similar to reading cereal boxes.
I'm curious too, because you talked a lot about people being ambassadors for the brand, and especially on social media and using the hashtag. What do you think will encourage people to use this hashtag and share it with their followers and their community so it feels like it's a part of them versus a company initiative?
So I think when people start to get connected with the story and seeing their direct impact and learning who's the farmer I'm working with, who's the roaster that's doing this for me. Once you can see someone on the other side, I think it's extremely impactful and people are inspired by the fact that like, oh my gosh, I know who made my coffee. Like they're inspired to tell people. And when you come to school with a cup that says, oh, someone made this for me, like I know who did this, like people are interested in that and interested in telling the story, kind of having a two-way street to it.
Cool. Thank you. Are there any extra evaluation forms?
Thank you all for being here. We're thrilled to share our idea with you today. I'm Shaheen.
I'm Corinne.
I'm Katie.
I'm Jeff.
So we want to start talking about what the customers want. So we did some field research and asked millennials nationwide what they look for in a coffee shop. And what we took from them is 3 things. They want transparency into the coffee process, and then they want a homey feel and community ties.
So our objective is to solve the problem of the impersonal corporation through a raw, unfiltered display of peace authenticity.
Something that was really emphasized to us in our field research by barista Paul Valdez was that the overall experience that a customer has at a cafe is 90% of their satisfaction. This is why we want to have our event at the Chestnut Street location in San Francisco, because it embodies the revamped, modernized design that Pete's is promoting for its younger demographic. And so another important part of our event is timing. And so we want to hold ours after normal coffee hours, because this breaks the rules of the conventional conception that coffee should be consumed in the morning, which is something that was emphasized in our learning this week.
We wanted to have local musicians to further just show people how truly important this value of community is to Pete's as a whole. We also thought it would be a good idea if Pete's around the country, they started displaying local artists' work to further instill that value in the brand.
Something that we learned from public relations expert Elizabeth Ricardo from Pete's was that an event is only as successful as the number of people who know about it. So to promote our event, we want to reach out to local media sources and event calendars, so we engage the local community. During the event, we also want to have local media sources present to write specialized pieces. In addition, we also will have a celebrity present at the event, which we'll talk about later, but we hope that that will engage national media sources to spread our event nationwide. Another really key aspect of engaging the millennials that we're trying to appeal to is through social media. So before and during the event, we will release calculated social media blasts, so people can be engaged with the event everywhere, and this will also include a Snapchat story.
So any event includes food and drink to be successful. So we came up with the theme of roast and toast. We'll be serving Pete's Major Dickinson's blend and also Pete's artisan baked goods and sandwiches, so that we can allow people to try Pete's most popular coffee blend while also promoting the new breakfast sandwiches.
So one way to place an individualized face to a large corporation is by showing the customer exactly who is behind the craft of the product that they're buying. So for our event, we'd like to have 1 to 3 of Pete's 10 roasters present to hold interactive demonstrations so that customers can understand exactly how each hand-roasted batch is crafted by these individuals. During their presentations, we also would like the roasters to offer tastings to show kind of how their process works in determining how the customer is given the perfect cup every time. And this also shows how Pete's ensures that the customer is getting a quality that they can't receive at any other chain.
Representatives from TechnoServe, we want also to be present at the event at a booth with information about the Pete's story, as well as pamphlets, ways to get involved in fundraising. The reason why we want TechnoServe representatives to be there is because their presence allows Pete's to demonstrate its belief that quality coffee includes caring for the coffee growing communities as well as their natural environments. And thus, Pete's can associate itself with the value of caring for communities. Our celebrity, Asena O'Neill, is a social media celebrity. She recently quit Instagram to show that social media is not real life. And she has a large media following as a result. O'Neill's presence there allows Pete's to associate itself with her brand, because to millennials, O'Neill represents the value of being true to oneself, rather than bowing to norms or expectations. And that's exactly the kind of image that Pete's wants to associate itself with.
So the Gap recently launched a campaign called Gap Summer Passport 2016, and it runs on a play, share, win basis, and we were thinking of doing something similar and calling it #Pete'sNoFilter. So we'll be passing out pamphlets both on-site at the event and nationwide at Pete's Cafes, which include information about the Pete's story, how the coffee is made, and also a way to get involved. We'll encourage people to share their own authentic story via social media with the hashtag #PetesNoFilter. By doing so, they can enter a sweepstakes to win prizes ranging from a free latte and the grand prize of 1 month's free coffee. We will also have a photo booth present at the event so people can take pictures with Pete's paraphernalia such as glasses and mugs, etc. And we will encourage people to share these photos with the hashtag #PetesNoFilter so that we can market it as the event occurs.
The bottom line is authentic people drink authentic coffee. If you're to take one thing away from all of this, it's that our event puts faces to the brand. We as millennials love something with a story, something with character, something with roots, something with true identity. That's what our event gives to Pete's Coffee. Thank you.
Okay, so one event for Chestnut Street Store. Any thoughts about, like, what is there a certain time of year when you do it? Would it be something you want to repeat? Like, how do you connect that to what else is going on in the world? Any thoughts about that? Does it matter?
Well, I'd say you probably want to do it around Christmas time because everybody kind of loves a good party around Christmas time. Good food and there's good music, and so people are in a cheery mood and probably more willing to participate in things because around Christmas and all the holidays, people are thinking about gifts, so a sweepstakes goes along with that as well.
It would be one event, but we were hoping this event would kind of spur a growth into that authentic values that Pete's already beholds, but not everyone knows about. So I think it would really just push everything towards that. It would just kind of spark it.
So basically, we plan on gauging the success of the one event and seeing how that can spread.
I think part of that is financial as well. We want to start with a pilot and see how well it performs, and then if it's successful, it's something we can replicate all across the country.
How do you drive people to this event? I mean, obviously the coffee is fantastic, more breakfast sandwiches, but how do you see spreading the word and the awareness ahead of time to get people to actually show up at one location at one time?
Well, the first thing is the celebrity Asena O'Neil, because since October of this year, she's had more than 82,000 hits on the internet. And so I think she's been written about in Cosmo and Vogue and all of those other things, so I think they'll follow her and probably talk about her coming, so I think that's one thing that will draw people in.
And she would be promoting her book, which is a big thing too, so that would draw more of a crowd, as well as the local musicians, which would draw more of the direct community, because they would be bands that people are already following or might have heard of, so they'll draw